saying that I think Elon Musk believes he's president.
Wait a second, like, come on, man, this is
breaking.
I've called him vice president, I called him president, because I don't know what JD is doing.
Something is brewing behind the scenes of daytime television. Something so unbelievable that even Hollywood gossip experts can't decide if it's pure sensationalism or an epic reality. It all centers on Whoopi Goldberg, famed for her fearless critiques, and Elon Musk, known for pushing boundaries no matter who stands in his way. Rumor has it that Goldberg has fled the country under the looming shadow of a lawsuit worth an unbelievable $80 million. Could it really be true that the same fearless talk show host who's never backed down in front of millions is now in hiding from one of the world's most powerful men?
I hardly ever say, I don't remember last time we even talked about JD.
You're right. He's planning the presidency when they get rid of Trump.
For years, Whoopi Goldberg has been the mainstay of daytime talk, famous for her quick wit and fierce commitment to speaking her mind. She was never one to shy away from controversy. Meanwhile, Elon Musk carved out an identity as a different sort of renegade, an iconoclastic CEO who built Tesla and SpaceX and then turned around to purchase Twitter, prompting countless debates about free speech and corporate power. Yet for much of their careers, these two big personalities existed in parallel worlds. Goldberg in the realm of talk shows and comedic commentary, Musk in the world of cutting-edge technology and visionary business deals. Each took center stage in their respective fields, with minimal overlap, at least until a fateful broadcast changed everything. The date remains a hot topic of speculation online. Which episode was it exactly and who was the guest? But the consensus is that Goldberg's words in that single segment were enough to draw Musk's attention, either intentionally or by pure accident. Initially, it seemed like a passing remark, one destined to generate some social media chatter and fade out. After all, bold statements on daytime talk shows aren't exactly rare, but the instant wave of reactions on Twitter, combined with Musk's notorious tendency to respond swiftly to critics, set the wheels in motion for one of the strangest controversies in recent entertainment history. When Whoopi Goldberg started suggesting Elon Musk was acting like a hidden figure in the corridors of power, pulling political strings in ways no one could see, people were hooked. She singled out politicians rumored to be under his direct influence. In her words, Musk was more than just a billionaire who liked rocket ships and electric cars. He was a behind-the-scenes puppet master, allegedly controlling government maneuvers. To make matters more pointed, Goldberg demanded in no uncertain terms that Musk relinquish control of Twitter. She labeled the platform a potential danger in the hands of a single magnate with far-reaching ambitions. Critics on social media roared that her assertions were baseless and outlandish, while some fans cheered her outspokenness as the only honest voice in a sea of celebrity hush-ups. In an era when a single tweet can catapult an argument onto the global stage, her statements turned into a major flashpoint. The speed of it all was stunning. Bloggers, mainstream media, and anonymous sources across the internet began dissecting every syllable. Did Goldberg really have proof of any of this? Or was she spinning a provocative yarn for viewership? Before anyone could get a solid answer, talk began of a Musk-led defamation lawsuit to the tune of $80 million. The rumor that Elon Musk might sue Whoopi Goldberg for defamation didn't surface in a formal press release or a flamboyant tweet. Rather, it trickled out in bits and pieces. Someone from a production team claimed they'd been contacted by lawyers. An offhand comment from a set assistant claimed Musk's legal team was investigating possible claims. Some tabloids dismissed it as inflated gossip, pointing out how rarely public figures actually follow through with such sweeping lawsuits. But every new whisper seemed to confirm that there might be real motion behind the scenes. By the time mainstream sources picked up the story, the figure of $80 million was tossed around like a hot potato. Analysts debated whether that amount was punitive or compensatory, or whether it even existed at all. In the courts, big numbers often serve as a statement of purpose, an announcement that the plaintiff is dead serious about exposing and penalizing what they see as a damaging lie. In Musk's world, spectacle is often part of the package. He's no stranger to dramatic gestures, whether it's launching a car into space or challenging journalists who question his business practices. Goldberg's reaction, or lack thereof, became the crux of the conversation. Initially, she neither apologized nor doubled down. She made no direct mention of the rumors about a lawsuit. Some observers read this as a sign of calm confidence, believing she had every intention of letting the chatter blow over. Others speculated that she was scrambling behind closed doors, contacting her own legal counsel and preparing for an impending clash with one of the richest men on Earth. In the midst of the swirling speculation, Goldberg abruptly disappeared from her talk show. The official word was that she needed a break for personal reasons, or perhaps a scheduling conflict, depending on who you asked. But in the entertainment world, such a sudden exit practically begs for dramatic interpretations. Rumors flourished. Was she avoiding being served with legal papers? Seeking sanctuary in a location where a U.S. lawsuit might be more difficult to pursue? Was she collaborating with an overseas investigative team to dig up dirt on Musk, some kind of bombshell evidence that would vindicate her claims? Social media erupted with theories. In an era where everyone with a smartphone becomes a potential paparazzo, alleged sightings started popping up. An unverified snapshot of Goldberg supposedly stepping off a private plane in a European seaside town. Fuzzy pictures of her in conversation with unknown individuals that might have been security personnel or foreign officials. The sheer volume of uncorroborated claims made it near impossible to parse the real from the fabricated. Producers of her show were put in the hot seat, peppered with questions about when and if Goldberg would return. They offered up polished answers along the lines of, "We're giving her the space and time she needs," but nobody was satisfied. Daytime viewers, used to seeing Goldberg's face every morning, suddenly found their daily routine shaken, and with every passing day of her absence, the rumor mill only churned harder. This wasn't Whoopi Goldberg's first brush with scandal. Over the years, she's made statements that landed her in hot water with critics, sponsors, and sometimes even her own co-hosts. She has occasionally apologized, yet more often she doubles down, weaving her rationale into ongoing cultural debates about everything from politics to social issues. Supporters admire her willingness to speak candidly, viewing her as a breath of fresh air in a media landscape that can feel sanitized. Detractors argue she often plays fast and loose with facts, turning talk show segments into rhetorical landmines. Still, even her harshest critics admit that the scale of this Elon Musk showdown feels different. Musk is not just another celebrity or political figure. He's a titan of industry, known for using every resource at his disposal to defend his image and businesses. His acquisition of Twitter for roughly $44 billion ignited fresh controversies about free speech, corporate responsibility, and the ways powerful figures manipulate online discourse. In that sense, when Goldberg publicly demanded that Musk relinquish the platform, it cut directly to the heart of his ideology. If there's anything more provocative than calling a billionaire a hidden string puller in government, it's telling him to surrender one of his prized acquisitions. Whether she truly believed her own claims or merely wanted to stir conversation, she'd chosen a target known for striking back in a very big way. While media outlets debated the lawsuit rumors, Elon Musk adopted an uncharacteristic approach. Caution. Sure, he dropped the occasional cryptic tweet about accountability in modern media. He hinted that individuals who spread misinformation should face real repercussions. But not once did he explicitly call Goldberg out by name during that stretch. This fueled an entire sub-narrative of speculation. Was he quietly gathering the evidence needed for a legal victory? Defamation lawsuits in America are notoriously tough to win. In the case of a public figure, it's even trickier. The plaintiff must demonstrate that the defendant knowingly spread falsehoods with reckless disregard for the truth. That's a tall order, yet Musk has proven he's willing to take on legal challenges many would dismiss as unwinnable. With his money, he can afford a drawn-out courtroom brawl, and with his social media reach, he can transform every hearing into a public spectacle. In some corners of the internet, Musk's supporters championed him as a guardian of truth, praising any move that might hold influential media personalities accountable. Others saw a more intimidating side, a display of how the super-rich can weaponize lawsuits to scare critics into silence. As for Goldberg, her consistent refusal to reappear or clarify her position left a vacuum that only stoked the drama further. Entertainment reporters had a field day with the story. Radio hosts dedicated entire segments to dissecting the legal angles, while tabloids printed sensational headlines about Goldberg's rumored frantic attempts to hide out in luxury resorts. Cable news networks brought on legal analysts to explain the complexities of defamation law, turning the matter into a spectacle that blurred the lines between actual news and pure, unadulterated gossip. Meanwhile, YouTube channels, Twitter threads, and online forums became a chaotic echo chamber. One faction saw Goldberg as a martyr, someone with the courage to raise uncomfortable questions about big tech power. Another faction pegged her as a conspiratorial fearmonger using shock tactics for attention. Interspersed were comedic voices treating the entire fiasco as fodder for memes. Images of Goldberg disguised in hats and sunglasses, jokes about Musk sending rocket-powered subpoenas across the ocean. Producers of Goldberg's talk show tried to stay on script, but the tension was evident. Co-hosts made vague references to crazy times and personal matters, and the show's format occasionally shifted to fill the empty seat. Yet no one could ignore the fact that a core piece of the show's identity, Whoopi's unapologetic commentary, was missing. Ratings spiked briefly as viewers tuned in, hoping for any mention of what was really happening behind the scenes. Speculation about Goldberg's rationale for possibly leaving U.S. soil ran wild. Some argued it was a strategic move to complicate the serving of legal documents. If you're not physically present, you might delay the official start of litigation. Others theorized she was simply taking refuge from the media swarm, wanting to avoid the 24/7 coverage in real time. A few cynics claimed this was a cunning PR stunt designed to stoke maximum intrigue around her brand. The rumored $80 million figure hovered like a storm cloud. Although celebrities often secure insurance or have deep pockets of their own, that kind of lawsuit could threaten even a well-established fortune. Maybe Goldberg's sudden absence was a preemptive measure to restructure her assets or consult with legal experts in another jurisdiction. The more you tried to unravel the threads, the more tangled they became. In the tabloids, there were mentions of her buying property overseas, cliffside villas in Italy, or remote hideaways in the Caribbean. But no real proof surfaced, only hearsay and rumor. Each day, new spotted photos emerged that were too grainy for any formal verification. Could she have been stateside all along, lying low in a friend's mansion, enjoying the swirl of chaos as everyone chased illusions? In the big picture, this story seemed to represent a shift in how public figures handle controversies in the digital age. Once upon a time, a star might weather a scandal with a few well-timed apologies and a dip in public appearances, trusting the short memory of the entertainment cycle to move on. But modern social media never seems to forget. Stroll it. Goldberg is an emblem of the talk show format, opinionated, unfiltered, and prone to dramatic proclamations. Musk embodies the new era of entrepreneurial celebrity, commanding not just wealth but enormous online influence. When these worlds collide, it creates a distinctly modern drama that forces viewers to question how far free speech goes when you might face punishing lawsuits. Political commentators framed it as a sign of deepening cultural rifts. On the one hand, a media figure claimed the moral high ground and questioned a billionaire's power. On the other hand, a billionaire insisted that public figures who speak recklessly should be held accountable. Who was the underdog and who was the oppressor? The answer varied depending on which corner of the internet you asked. Those who followed Goldberg's career recalled how she once faced backlash for offhand remarks about sensitive topics. She occasionally seemed unprepared for the resulting firestorms, but rarely did she show genuine regret. Musk, too, had his share of controversies. Tweets about taking Tesla private at $420 per share ignited federal investigations, and his stances on free speech soared or sank in popularity, depending on the day. Yet this confrontation felt less like a typical tabloid spat and more like a philosophical collision. Goldberg singled out Twitter's role in shaping public discourse, effectively pointing a finger at Musk as a gatekeeper of global conversation. For his part, Musk maintained that he was simply restoring free expression, which mainstream social media had lost. In this scenario, Goldberg's claim that Musk was dangerously influencing government officials played directly into a debate about democracy's vulnerability in the digital age. As the daily coverage continued, both Goldberg and Musk played a game of strategic quiet. She remained unseen. He kept tweets and public statements ambiguous. Legal experts weighed in, noting that every word could be used as evidence. If her claims were truly unfounded, Musk's team might be working to prove actual malice a high bar that requires demonstrating Goldberg knew her statements were false. Would she be forced to retract her words on air or in court to avoid a financial meltdown? The notion of a major talk show host publicly apologizing to Elon Musk in the midst of a defamation case was the sort of spectacle that left watchers breathless. Yet no definitive move emerged on either side. Each day stretched the tension further, fueling a sense that something enormous might erupt at any moment. Whispers inside the talk show's production staff suggested a frantic scramble behind the scenes. Some said producers had tried to coax Goldberg into returning by offering segments that would allow her to clarify her statements without formally retracting them. Others said the tension was so high that they worried about possible cancellations of the show if the lawsuit became a full-blown scandal. There were rumors of a meltdown in a private conference room, with Goldberg allegedly refusing to budge an inch. She believed that letting Musk's legal threat dictate her next move would set a terrible precedent. Some staff admired her unwavering resolve. Others feared it would be her downfall. Meanwhile, sponsors watched the drama nervously, torn between the desire to tap into skyrocketing ratings and the fear of being linked to a potential defamation fiasco. While the media fixated on the Goldberg story, Musk continued forging ahead with his other high-profile endeavors. He announced new Tesla products, teased progress on neural tech, and posted sporadic commentary on global issues. His supporters saw a visionary unstoppable by petty disputes, while critics claimed his refusal to address the Goldberg controversy directly was a sign of chilling, behind-the-scenes intimidation. In truth, defamation suits often become lengthy and convoluted legal labyrinths. If Musk was indeed proceeding with legal action, it would demand considerable resources and public statements eventually. Yet, so far, everything seemed locked behind closed doors. Some believed that if Musk truly intended to make an example out of Goldberg, his strategy might be to wait until she re-emerged and then serve her publicly, ensuring maximum impact and sending a message to other potential critics. Public sentiment branched off in multiple directions. Goldberg's fans insisted she had every right to question an influential figure like Musk, even if her claims seemed extreme. They argued that a single billionaire controlling one of the largest social platforms posed inherent risks, and if the mainstream media was too scared to confront him, at least Goldberg was fearless enough to do so. Conversely, Musk's defenders emphasized that facts matter. One can't just accuse someone of running a hidden government for the sake of spectacle. They argued that such allegations, if taken seriously, could sway public perception and potentially affect Musk's businesses, making it fair, if not necessary, to hold a talk show host accountable for reckless claims. Amid the controversy, neutral commentators highlighted a larger problem: the blurred line between news and entertainment. A talk show with millions of viewers can shape opinions without the journalistic rigor expected of news programs. This raised questions about where responsibility lies and how to stem misinformation. The Goldberg-Musk spectacle became a poster child for these. Some skeptics speculated that the entire fiasco was orchestrated, an elaborate performance designed to boost ratings and grab attention for both Goldberg and Musk. They noted that controversies involving Musk often send the internet into a frenzy, and daytime TV thrives on friction and sensational headlines. Could both sides be benefiting from rumors of Goldberg fleeing the country, feeding an already monstrous story? This perspective portrayed everything from the alleged $80 million lawsuit to Goldberg's disappearance as components of a well-timed puzzle meant to enthrall the public. Yet questions lingered. How far would someone go to stage such a stunt? And what happens if the story veers off script when real legal documents come into play? Days turned to weeks with no dramatic reveal, a formal filing, a confrontation, or a clear photo of Goldberg abroad with her lawyer. The talk show continued without her, and Musk kept up his businesses and cryptic tweets. Observers noted the unsettling calm, a silent host, and a billionaire not engaging directly. If the lawsuit were real, legal papers would eventually surface, igniting a legal storm. If it was all smoke and mirrors, the controversy might fizzle out or culminate in a final burst of action. Meanwhile, old interviews of Goldberg discussing family and personal challenges resurfaced, raising concerns that this saga might be taking an emotional toll on her. Critics of Musk questioned whether his takeover of Twitter made him overly sensitive to critique, or if he was using his power to intimidate Goldberg. Without official statements, speculation. Ultimately, the saga reflects broader cultural tensions. In a world where a single viral comment can alter careers, spark movements, or incite legal battles, Goldberg's accusations about Musk's shadow power tapped into deep anxieties about who truly pulls the strings in society. The rumored defamation lawsuit raised worries about freedom of expression when the wealthy can mobilize overwhelming legal might. As the rumor mill churns, some speculate that quiet negotiations might be underway, Goldberg promising a public clarification in exchange for Musk dropping the lawsuit. What that clarification entails remains unknown. Will she retract her claims, make a donation, or simply remain silent? The saga remains in limbo, with Goldberg's fate and Musk's next move hanging in the balance. Whether this ends quietly or escalates into a landmark legal battle, it's clear that the conflict transcends a simple spat, embodying our collective anxieties about money, influence, and truth in the modern era. For now, all we can do is watch and wait. The next chapter could change everything, or absolutely nothing. But whatever happens, the entire world will be watching, transfixed by the possibility that two powerful personalities, locked in an unpredictable struggle, might redefine the boundaries of public discourse in the digital age.